Hi, I'm Joe Furey. I was a writer on Late Night at NBC. Like a lot of people on the show, I started out as an intern. I was in college at the time, and I was staying with my sister Sue. In the morning, she came in and said to me, Dave Letterman mentioned that they're looking for an intern.
Ray, but Paul, I want to mention just one thing very briefly. You know our intern program?
Yes.
Where this enables college students from underprivileged families from all around the United States to come here and earn actual college credit for Xeroxing. So now, like 3 weeks ago, one left, a little girl, the one who was always tan. She hit the road, and I hear today that another one has washed out. So, Paul, maybe the program is too rough for these kids.
You think so?
I was so reluctant to do it that she actually called and said, "Hey, I'm just calling. I heard that you had an internship available." And they said, "Yeah, let me talk to him." I went in on an interview, and I ended up doing it, which was completely crazy.
It's a job that demands a certain breed of individual. Someone who doesn't ask to be paid. A job that gives you up to 15 college credits if you have what it takes. A gullible college advisor or parents who are major stockholders of General Electric. You'll work side by side with broadcasting professionals.
Kevin.
Late night intern. No pay, no fun, no kidding.
One of my first things I felt like contributed something to the show was a guy called up and said, "Hey, I have this piece of footage that you are going to love for this show. You guys need to put this on your show." There's a White House correspondence dinner, I believe, or a press dinner, where the president was speaking. In the foreground, Dan Quayle was seen, and he was eating his lunch, and he was the only one eating, and everyone else was watching the president. And it ended up being a thing that Dave used about 100 times on the show. Anytime there was a dull moment, Dave would go, "Can we see that footage again of Dan Quayle eating lunch?"
What do you have for us tonight, Hal?
Something very special, Dave. I have some footage of Dan Quayle eating lunch. You want to see that?
Dan Quayle
eating lunch. Roll it.
Vice
Al.
presidential candidate Dan Quayle
That's
eating
the guy.
lunch. All
Here it
right,
comes.
Al, let's take a look.
There it is.
President Reagan. He's
Can you see that,
addressing
Dave?
Yeah.
Here, lower left-hand corner. There it is.
My God, it is. It's Dan Quayle.
Little sound in the background of that.
The president appears to be speaking.
He is. He's talking.
Yeah. Everyone else seems to be paying attention. This guy is obviously there just for the free lunch.
I did TV commercials my entire childhood. In some sense, that might have been why they used me a fair amount in skits, is that I think they saw the commercials and stuff and just felt like, oh, you know, he could do stuff on the show too.
I was in a TV commercial once.
How long ago?
About 10 years ago.
What for?
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. Did you make money off of the deal?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Okay, well, let's take a look at it now.
Prom tonight. Where do we start? A Coke and a smile makes me feel good. Bobby, is that you?
I was in a lot of like viewer mail letters.
I think we have a staff member up there tonight. Is that right, Hal? Yeah, get a shot. I think we have one of our staff members up there in the audience this evening. This is what we're talking about. Occasionally, if there's some kind of a joke. Yeah, there he is. Right there. There. What do you think? How'd we do? Hal, I think we have a break. There! Thank God! Get down there!
Hello? Hello? I wonder if that's the phone again. Damn, I'm so good at dialing. If only that's all there was to it. I can dial all day, I just can't answer the damn thing. Hello? This is John C. Lewis speaking. Hello? Okay, I can dial. I just don't know how to answer the phone. Mike, look. A color TV. And a VCR, too. Hey, it's running. Well, this guy must be recording the Letterman show. Letterman, huh? Let me see. Huh. A tape of the David Letterman show from my own private collection. How nice. Talk about luck. We bust into this house and now I get a tape. a tape of one of my talk show idols, David Letterman. Tom, are you being sarcastic? Of course I am.
I've always wondered what it would be like to sit in the chair next to you. Could I give it a try?
Just come right down here and sit in the chair? Sure, I don't see a problem with that. Come on down. Hurry up, though. We're running a little late. Guy wants to sit in the chair here next to me, Paul, so this will be kind of interesting to see what that is like. And let's see, just put him right through there. There you go. Are you enjoying that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, thank you very much.
GE washer repair, please hold a moment. GE washer repair, please hold a moment. GE washer repair. Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. What date was that? The 16th? I'm sorry. No! Oh! Somebody kill me!
I was in a skit, a viewer mail skit, where I played a character who lived under the seats. And I said I was from the land of the mole people. And it wasn't really all that funny. It didn't end up being that great. It didn't get any laughs really at all.
Hi, how you doing?
I recognize you. You're David Letterman.
Yeah, that's right.
What brings you here to the land of the mole people?
Well, we're just conducting a little experiment. What are you up to?
Little digging, little eating roots,
Right.
little hanging out.
Yeah.
So, what's new with you surface dwellers?
Well, you know, pretty soon the presidential administration of Ronald Reagan will come to an end.
Ronald who?
I think it was Jeff Martin decided to write skits around it. And then it became this thing that I did I think about 3 times where I came out as a guest.
Yes, sir. Do you have a question for Joe Furey, Mole Man?
What goes into getting into the Mole Man costume?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The process actually takes over 6 hours. We actually have a piece of videotape.
Well, let's take a look.
My day begins at 5 a.m. That's when I arrive at makeup. First, basic pancake layers. Then, a prosthetic chin is put in place. That takes about an hour to dry, during which I get a bald wig and a false brow. Special contact lenses change the color of my eyes to earth tones. Painful rods are inserted into my mouth to extend the lips. And there's the final result.
And the funniest thing about that Mole Man thing is I was on the show a lot doing it, to the point where NBC put it in a promo.
Tonight on Late Night, Dave enlists the aid of Mole Man and one courageous page in the effort to get Joan Collins on the show.
On the Halloween show, we would do new costumes. The one I had was a girl just came out as a return check from Donald Trump. I'm kind of proud of it because it was years and years before anyone really knew that much about Trump. So I still refer to it today and say that's my proudest achievements is making fun of Trump on something.
Hi, come on in. Hi, nice to see you. How are you? Are you having a nice Halloween?
Yes.
Well, thanks for coming over. Here's a costume that's very popular this year. It's a returned check from Donald Trump.
I used to live in Brooklyn. There was this little barber shop on the way right near where I lived that looked like a barber shop from like the 50s. And it occurred to me that what if somebody was like a secret agent or something like that kind of a dumb thing.
By day, he was an average big city barber.
Okay. How about a flat top? All right.
But by mid-afternoon, he was a crusader for justice.
Hold it right there, punks. You're under arrest.
Dave Letterman, haircut cop. He's a hairstylist on a mission to cut and trim
boy.
crime.
How about those Yankees, huh? Yeah. Really looks like they might do something this year.
With special guest star Paul Schaefer as the chief.
That's it, haircut cop. I want your piece, your shield, and your coat.
Dave Letterman is the barber with the badge.
The Late Shift, Bill Carter, who was a nice guy, came in and he was writing this book. When the movie came out, the one gag they used in the movie was a gag that I wrote of Paul having the hiccups and Dave is trying to help him with the hiccups and he puts a bag over his head and then hits him with a baseball bat. Just the idea of seeing something you wrote that was acted out and then done again, I thought, God, that's just hysterical that this is actually happening. was in a viewer mail letter. Someone said, Dave, can I be on your show? Dave said, sure, you can be on the show. And then it dissolves to the guy's house. The funniest thing in the whole thing to me is Jude just sitting there like this.
You know, we get a lot of letters like this, but I think tonight I'm in a pretty good mood, so sure, Dave, you can, if you want to, you can, yeah, why not? You can be on the show anytime you want.
Oh, my God. Did you hear that? He said I could be on the show. Did you hear that, Mom? He said I could be on the show. I'm going to be on Late Night with David Letterman. I'm going to call my boss. Hello, this is Dave Wilson. You can take your job and go to hell. I'm going to be on Late Night. I'm going to be on Late Night. I'm going to be on Late Night. I'm going to be on Late Night.
Poor kid was somehow under the delusion he was going to be on a late-night TV show.
There was a Manhattan cable access show. There was a guy who had a show who was trying to be like a legitimate show. It was a call-in show. He'd have like a serious topic. And literally every phone call he'd answer would be like, fuck you!
Hi, you're on the air.
Hi, man.
Yeah, how you doing?
Fuck you!
And so a criminal come in, rob your house.
But what's the chance that Mayor Dinkins, who can't even clean up the city, I fucked your mother up to death?
Paul Sims and I thought this was like the funniest. We both were watching it all the time, watching the show. We thought it was so funny that it ended up being a viewer mail letter. And the great part was, later that week, he got heard about it, and he talked about it on his show, which we thought was the greatest accomplishment ever. We thought.
Now, let's go to the phones now. Hi there, you're on the air.
Hi, you know, I think the real the problem with this is that you suck, Letterman.
Okay, let's take another call. Hello, please, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, aren't you the guy who used to do the TV show about the funny animals?
Yeah, if we can stick to the topic, I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much for calling. Hello, you're on the air.
Hi, Paul. Hi, Dave.
Hi.
I love the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for calling.
You know, most of the people who support this thing don't realize that you guys suck.
Those of you who caught David Letterman Friday night that did a little parody on the show, and I thought it was cute. And I actually appreciate the acknowledgement that at least somebody on that level is watching the show, and I want to thank them for notifying me that they were doing some kind of parody on this show.
I was in a skit where I was heckling Bill Murray. We rehearsed it, we did the whole thing, and we walked through it. Bill was shaking me and he pushes me out the door, and we fall on the ground, and he literally falls on top of me. And he stands up and he puts his hand out to help me get up, and he says, by the way, I'm Bill. Which was hilarious. And the funniest thing is, if you look really closely, Chris Farley and Adam Sandler were both there standing in the hall. And after it was over, they were saying, that was great.
Oh, no. Here we go.
You suck!
Oh, my.
Wait, I suck? You suck!
Uh-oh.
Who told you I suck? Who said I suck?
Sir, do us a favor and just try and relax and enjoy the rest of the show, okay?
You might enjoy it, Letterman, if you weren't here.
Oh, man. Well, that's... what?
Stay out of it, baby. Hey, pal. Say what you want to me, but you leave David alone, huh? Now, you just dialed a wrong number, mister. This is a collect call, you cheap little punk. Back to the finger lens, princess. Get out, you ruined it. Just a second. See that sign? Wrong door.
Thanks, Bill. I tell you what, Will.
I think you're only creating, a worse situation, and you suck big dick.
See, that's the case.